y'all, and welcome to another video. So today I'm going to be doing a react video to a newer doll that's been released on the market. One that I've been really excited about and wanting to order and investigate further. So I believe it was in April of this year that Mattel announced that they were releasing their first ever Barbie doll with Down syndrome. There's not a lot of dolls out there available that represent people with Down syndrome or children with Down syndrome. And so this really made a lot of waves. It was all over the news. A lot of people reacted to it, and I will say I was happy that the overwhelming response was mostly positive. You know, of course you have a few weirdos out there that just want to be, well, weirdos. But I think most people were really excited about this particular release, and that there was going to be representation for this group of people, and we were just excited to finally have a doll that represented the Down syndrome community. So that being said, I have ordered her off of Amazon. Came in a little sleeve, nothing fancy, very affordable. I think she was only $10.95. I have not seen her in person yet, so this is going to be totally a blind reaction. I love the artwork. If you look at the artwork here, isn't that really, really pretty? So she is part of the Fashionista line, and she just comes in this little sleeve, and it shows other dolls in the line that you can purchase on the side. So this is doll number 208. I don't see anything with description on the box. Okay, so I'm going to set her aside for a minute. I'm actually going to read to you, this is just word for word from a CBS News article that came out in April 25th. So the first ever Barbie doll with Down syndrome has been introduced by toy manufacturer Mattel, who made the announcement on Tuesday. The company worked closely with the National Down Syndrome Society to ensure the doll accurately represented a person with Down syndrome. So I believe that's what this here represents, the National Down Syndrome Society. So they did work closely with them during the production process. The doll's dress features butterflies as well as yellow and blue colors that are associated with Down syndrome awareness. So her dress, the colors, and I guess the butterflies are associated with Down syndrome awareness. She has accessories that include a pendant necklace with 3 chevrons representing the 3 copies of the 21st chromosome. The doll also comes with ankle-foot orthodontics, that's teeth, orthotics, which many children with Down syndrome use for support. Quote, "This Barbie serves as a reminder that we should never underestimate the power of representation," unquote, said Candy Picard, NDSS president and CEO, in a press release. Quote, "It is a huge step forward for inclusion and a moment that we are celebrating," unquote. With its latest addition, the most diverse doll on the market hopes to continue its journey of inclusivity. In 2020, the company's Barbie Fashionista line featured its first dolls with vitiligo. Is that how you pronounce it? I apologize if I said that incorrectly. Vitiligo. A doll with no hair, and a doll with darker skin tone and a gold prosthetic limb. Down syndrome is a condition in which a person has an extra chromosome. According to the CDC, each year about 6,000 babies born in the U.S. have Down syndrome, and it is the most common chromosomal condition diagnosed in the United States. So my OB described it to me as because there's lots of chromosomal abnormalities and conditions, and many of which are not compatible with life. Down syndrome is one of those that is compatible with life. Barbie has evolved significantly over the past several years. We've continued to increase our commitment to representation with a variety of diverse dolls. Quote, "This is important not just for people with Down syndrome and their families, but also every individual out there who wants to play with dolls, whether they have a disability or not," unquote. Michelle Sagan of the National Down Syndrome Society told CBS News. All right, so that gives us a little bit of history, insight, backstory into this doll. Obviously, the Mattel's Barbie Fashionista line is trying to do its best to represent a lot of different groups, a lot of different people with different conditions, which kudos to them, hats off to them, and I am ready to open her up. How am I supposed to get in here? Okay, maybe the side is the way to go. Okay, so I've gotten her out of the sleeve. And now there's just like random bits of tape and rubber bands that need to come off. Mostly holding her hair down. Don't want to mess up that hair. Okay, well, right off the bat, initial gut reaction is that she's beautiful. Take a look at her face mold, her hair. Is this really nice blend. It's very soft. It's a nice blend of light blonde, and then there's some caramel in there, some darker colors. She has a side part, and these are her orthotic shoes. And it said in the article that she was designed with more of a petite frame and a little bit curvier to represent women with Down syndrome. This is her necklace with the 3 chevrons, and her dress, which I guess represents Down syndrome awareness. So she is a beautiful doll. Not a ton of extra articulation. She does have outward articulation in the legs, which is nice. Outward in the arms, nothing in the elbow or the knees. Her head moves on a swivel like most Barbie dolls. As far as the rooting quality, Mattel usually does a good job with rooting, so I would be surprised if this was not the case. It looks evenly distributed. You're always going to see a little bit of the scalp in there. That's just how it is. Really subtle makeup, really beautiful. I love what they've done. She has sort of light brown eyes, really nice big smile. Just a beautiful, beautiful doll. I'm happy that, Mattel isn't perfect, but, and I know that they don't always get things right, but I do think this is a huge win on their part. They're trying to be more inclusive, more diverse, and I just think this is a step in the right direction. I did a little bit of research before this video, looking into what other dolls were available on the market that represent people with Down syndrome, and there's not a lot. There's really, I was almost kind of appalled at the lack of options. I am not a mother of a child with Down syndrome. I do have a son with special needs, but I do know a couple of mothers in my circle who do have children with Down syndrome, and I'm surprised at the lack of representation. I'm a little bit surprised. I did find There's one line of dolls that they have baby dolls that represent babies with Down syndrome, but that's basically it. Other than that, and this girly here, I didn't really find anything. So, hopefully this will give a little kick in the pants to other doll manufacturers because, that's a huge gap that should be filled, I think, in my opinion. We're becoming more aware, we're becoming more educated, and I think that we really need to try harder in this area. I would love to see, the American Girl doll company, especially since it's owned by Mattel, maybe put out a doll, an 18-inch doll with Down syndrome. I think that would be awesome and honestly well received. I can't imagine that it wouldn't be. Maybe this was Mattel sort of dipping their toes in the water, see how this one did, and then gauge that on whether or not they should do an 18-inch doll. I don't know cost-wise what the differences are, but I would absolutely love to see that. And I would challenge doll manufacturers out there to really explore this particular area because there's definitely a gap there. There's a hole. There's there's a need that hasn't been filled. So definitely look into it, explore that, do better. But give grace. There's always room for growth and knowledge. We're becoming more aware, more educated. There's lots and lots of people. It said on the CBS News article, 6,000 babies are born every year in the U.S. with Down syndrome. So there's definitely a need there. And these kids need to be acknowledged and represented too. So I would love to see a little bit more representation, but good for you, Mattel. This is a huge step forward. And there's not a lot of things that the U.S. of A can really come together and agree on anymore these days. Seems like anything under the sun, you could be like, I like turnips, and then it just would start a whole internet war. Everything is divisive. So it's nice to see something, like this doll where the majority of people can be in agreement that it is a good thing. Of course, you've got the, 1% of naysayers out there that just don't believe in happiness or anything good, really. But I would say 99% of people were in support and had good things to say about this doll. So that's nice to see. Anything that can bring us together. So anyways, this is an affordable doll, $10.95 off of Amazon. She arrived in one day, I think. She's beautiful. So even if your child doesn't have Down syndrome, I mean, I can't imagine why you wouldn't want to add this dolly to your collection. She has a beautiful, unique face mold. I think it's really stunning. And I love it. So highly recommend. She gets the stamp of approval from Dr. Doll. Not that means diddly squat. But get yourself one. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed this react video. And let me know what your thoughts are. Do you know someone with Down syndrome? Do you have a child with Down syndrome? I'd love to know more about your situation or your thoughts on this doll in particular. Do you feel like this accurately represents you and your child? So please leave comments and your thoughts down below. And as always, we'll see you next time. Bye, guys.